Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith, and today guys I'll be checking out this video, and it's titled Feminism is the #1 attack on family. You guys, I'm super excited for this, and without much ado, let's see what this video is all about.
What do you think the biggest issue in America today is?
Oh gosh, the white supremacy. They're just never going to let it go. They're never going to let it go. I think I've testified twice on hearings where they are trying to tell you that white supremacy is the biggest issue.
You were at the hate crime hearing where you just ruined everybody. You fact checked everybody in real time. Jerry Nadler, everybody was like, you had everybody stunned, which was amazing. If people haven't seen it, go check that.
And that's infuriating because I remember I said in my congressional testimony, if I had to make a list of 100 things that were impacting Americans, white supremacy wouldn't make the list. And I mean that seriously. Gosh, what would be first? That's a very good question. I can give you a few things that are ranked very importantly, but I don't want to say what I would say is first. But the family unit being destroyed is if it's not one, it's two. What's happening with families and the government's creeping into our homes in regards to making people believe that marriage is not aspirational, that only happens in a society that's heading towards Marxist ideologies. And that is literally the Karl Marx doctrine, right? That if the government wants full omnipotence, it has to break down the family unit because the family unit stands in opposition to government omnipotence. So I would probably say every ill that we're seeing in society right now, which you might think are unrelated, are actually all related to destroying the family unit. So sometimes you say, why are they on this climate change thing? And then you go, why are they fighting trans bathroom signs? And what's with this LGBTQ stuff? If you examine all of these issues and you realize what they have in common, it's that they are attacking families. So climate change, they're telling children don't have kids. Don't have kids. It's irresponsible. The planet's not going to be here for 10 years. Meghan and Harry got an award because they agreed to only have 2 kids. Yeah. It's about the shrinking of the family unit, it's totally bizarre. The LGBTQ stuff, if kids are chopping off their parts, they're not going to have a productive family. There's no nuclear family unit. If it's 2 lesbians or two gay people, more power to the government. You've got to turn to the government to even have a child, which is now coming down the pipeline with all of those things. And so, when I examine every issue that we're fighting, you can see that what the government is actually doing is trying to interrupt the family unit. So I would say that that's the #1 issue.
And your friend Larry Elder said the exact same thing. He put that at #1.
He put #1, right?
He said and then obviously a guy like that said very nice things.
I want to see what else she's going to say. Let me see what else she's going to say. What else would you say?
Well, so I was saying I would put family issues first because every other societal ill follows it. So when when I'm talking about the education system, right, and what's going on, and kids are getting systematically dumber across Baltimore. They can't find a single child that's proficient in reading and writing, but talk to the kid about BLM and they're going to be like, oh yeah, no, absolutely. They're training little Marxists. The kids actually know nothing. They're essentially toddlers. Like when you see a toddler throwing a temper tantrum, they don't understand why. And so they just blame rich people, right? It must be because of rich people that I failed in life. No, it's because you literally couldn't pass a basic reading exam and your life was cut off for you before you even graduated. But when you look at that, again, it brings you back to the family unit. Culture is a major problem. Hollywood and culture is definitely up there, but they're again reinforcing the breakdown of family, the overt sexualization, the perversion. That's what I'm saying about not importing American values. That is one of the most, I would say that is the most disgusting thing right now that's happening in America is the over sexualization of our culture. And I look at other countries and I'm like, no, I'd much rather be importing those values, right? What are we exporting right now? When you look at what celebrities are endorsing and the overt sexuality, obviously you brought up that I did the Whatever podcast. You broke my heart to sit across from a 22-year-old who sleeps with 10 men a night. And her answer is, well, I make money, I make $100,000 a year. You're 22 years old and you look like you're possessed by a demon because you are. Right? Our culture is demonic. And
where would you put feminism on this? Because that's essentially what it comes down to:
the family,
the monetization and the sexualization and the commoditization.
Feminism is the #1 attack on family, right? What are they telling women? Men ain't shit. You don't
get your bag, girl. You don't need no man.
That's disgusting. You shouldn't be having children. There's a whole culture called dinks on TikTok, dual income, no kids. They're getting millions of views. My life is so great. I don't have. This is literally the simulation right now that women are existing existing under and believing that they shouldn't be, that men are crap. And by the way, there's a response to that, which we can talk about. I talk a lot about masculinity and the decline of masculinity, because feminists have been bashing men over the head about being men and how men don't have a lot of leaders and people that they can rely on. And so we're just now kind of seeing a response to the hyper feminization of culture, which is what we are suffering from right now. We are living in a matriarchy. The illusion is that it's patriarchy. It is in fact a matriarchy. Everything that we are dealing with right now is because people are emotional. Women have power. Women are in positions of power, and we are more emotional than men. Most women are more emotional than men.
What about someone like Chelsea Handler? So I do another show when I'm not doing PBD that it discusses this exact same topic, right? And Chelsea Handler like attacked me. I went back at her.
Oh my God.
We went back and forth, and she's like, "This is what an alpha."
Yeah,
but
I think it's flirting.
I think it was hardcore flirting.
Yeah. I'm into those 50-year-old
that drink vodka at 8 a.m.
Alcoholic drug addicts.
Well, you're not married yet. I thought that was step one.
You've gone to you've been not so kind, and you went to war with Sarah Silverman, the Chelsea Handler, these almost 50-year-old women who could have had any guy they wanted in their 20s, beautiful, smart, intelligent, what have you. You obviously chose a totally different
and then
path.
You started snorting feminism and looking at what their lives are.
And you consider yourself a trad wife, I would assume.
Yeah.
You somehow have this balance of being, beautiful, but also intelligent, but also a mom and also a career woman. Like, so essentially, what's your message for women out there? Can you actually have it all? Or do you kind of have to pick the trad wife or the career wife?
You need to prioritize. Yeah, you need to prioritize. And I think the answer for most women is prioritize your family, no question. No question. There are some women that I would say, I've met this girl and she probably shouldn't be a mom, right? Yeah. But the truth is that your greatest superpower that you will ever tap into, I have never been more confident in who I am, more sure of myself than since I became a mother. Getting married and becoming a mother. Yeah.
Can I give you a little maybe pushback? Yeah. If you had to choose one, meaning mother, 3 kids, Candace Owens, political pundit, Daily Wire. Really? You'd give it all up just to be a mother.
In a heartbeat, yeah.
Why don't women understand that exact same topic?
Because it's not talked about culturally. Because I'm considered counterculture, right? That's not mainstream. How are you saying that? How dare you say that? Women are being told that they should be like men. By the way, we're getting the worst end of the deal. I don't know who sat down and had the feminist meeting in the beginning and was like, hey, so here's how we're really going to make men lose. First, we're just going to keep sleeping with them with no commitment, right? We're going to just going to be hoes, right? Yeah. Oh, men are really going to hate that.
We're going to trick them.
And then we're going to be naked on the internet all the time. We're just going to put our boobs out there. We're going to fight to free the nipple.
Right.
Men are really going to hate that.
And we're also going to work our asses off just like men.
Yeah. And then we're going to say, we're going to work just like you. And we're going to bring in the same. Men are really going to, I don't know. This is the worst deal ever. I'm like, wait. Do you mean to tell me that there was a time where we got to just be at home and cook and hang out with other women and raise our kids and somebody ruined that? Bring me that woman.
Yeah.
Do you think, and
on top of that, men get to compete in your sport.
Yeah.
What?
And that's okay because that's noble. That's noble.
And who supported that? Women.
Yeah.
Feminists.
You know how they say progressives, you can't stop something as it's progressing. Is this the one issue that you think can regress? Like women will be like, I don't know how many women are like, that's it. I'm going back to the home. I'm putting my apron on. I'm going to be a good wife.
I think
do you actually think that's realistic, though?
I do. I think it's happening because what we're getting to now is the end of that overt sexualization period. And I always say to people, I'm like, examine the women that are telling you that this is going to bring you happiness. Who are the women that are out there that have told you that this is the way to go? Where are their lives right now? Are they married? Nope. The multiple partners? Yes. By the time they get to Chelsea Handler's age, and why I always use her as an example is because I was a huge fan of Chelsea Handler when I was younger. I thought she was so funny. I always watched Chelsea lately, and I bought all of her books. And obviously, she wrote extensively. She actually wrote about her multiple abortions, things of that nature. So she had a chance at family, and she chose against it because she decided that she was going to be young and beautiful forever, and she isn't and wasn't going to be young and beautiful forever, right? And so Chelsea Handler's a perfect example because when you play with feminism for too long and you can't go backwards, it inevitably ends with Xanax and wine and prescriptions and misery. Yeah. And now Chelsea Handler is realizing that biology is always going to trump sociology in the end. In the end, biology sits back and it wins, right?
Father Time is undefeated.
Right. It's literally, it wins. And so now she's got nothing to nurture. And what happens is those women then start looking for a social philosophy, a social justice movement that they can try to turn into the son and daughter that they don't don't have, right? I'm like, and does anybody really think Chelsea Handler cares about like Dylan Mulvaney being allowed to go into the right bath? No, of course she doesn't. Nobody could care that much about Dylan Mulvaney. I mean, when I heard her crying on her podcast, I was like, you need a child so bad.
Yeah, Adam,
So
get
bad.
moved.
I'm like,
see
you
what I
want to
could do.
babysit Chelsea?
Well, she can't have kids anymore. Question, Candace, last question on this topic. Where do you draw the line? Meaning, all right, so women should go to high school. Obviously, women should go to college. You went to college. Okay, you go to college for what reason? To get a return on your investment, to get a job. Okay, I get a job. I'm making money. You said you paid back 150 grand in student loans.
I never did.
You've made something your career.
I made a mistake.
You made a career.
Should have waited.
Yeah.
But like,
waited.
are you saying that women shouldn't go to college? Like, I interviewed this guy Nick Fuentes, if you know who he was, communications director for Kanye, which I'm sure we could talk about. But he said women should not go to college. They shouldn't even finish high school. Basically, just
I want to
stay
be
your
clear.
ass there.
Most people should not go to college. Okay. I just want to make that very clear.
I'm with you
Forget
on
not
that.
women or men.
Yes.
It is, what are you going to college for? I went to college because there was a peer pressure campaign in high school. If you don't go to college, you're going to be a failure. And I think that that's the reason most people go to college, is because the idea of being the kid that goes to community college it means that you're the kid that's a loser and failed.
You're the
so
smelly
everybody
kid.
signs up for loans with money that they don't have, which marries you further to the state. You know, Sally Mae loans are the ones that I took out, which were egregious. I didn't understand anything I was signing because I didn't come from a wealthy family. I was first generation college kid. I was completely taken advantage of, and started my life in mass debt for a journalism degree. Does that sound like something that any person should be doing? It's completely irrational. I actually think there needs to be a collapse of the scam of college. You know, people should be getting internships out of high school to figure out what the heck they want to do before they waste a bunch of money on a meaningless degree. The majority of people are wasting their money. I don't know many people that are using their actual degree in the real world, right?
Yeah.
The girls go and they sign up and they do fashion and marketing design, you know, and the guys, if you're you want to be a doctor and you know for sure that's what I want to do, yeah, sure, go to college if you have that vision and you're sure of yourself. But right now, the whole college scam is what needs to collapse.
Well, you did a video called "College is a Scam."
It is.
So it's you have no idea how many girls that I talked to and interviewed. They go to college, they graduate, and they become bartenders or servers. And
So
I'm
they
like,
can pay off their debts.
I'm like, why the hell did you even go to college? Like, I don't know, I was supposed to. But you did a video, "College is a Scam." But you want your kids to go to college? Your girls are going to college. Like, how do you guys as parents grapple with what she's saying?
I've answered this question a couple times, and I've talked about STEM, and I'm very clear with my girls. It says, I'll fund STEM, I'll fund skills that are going to be applicable with an appropriate ROI. And, you know, we have set aside the funds for their college education and up the amount twice in the last 10 years so that we could have enough getting there. And I think the price is a little crazy, but I'll fund STEM. I'll absolutely fund STEM. You know, hey, I want to go with my boyfriend Philippe to the Sorbonne and study art history. Well, I hope his effing parents are wealthy and cover you because I will not be. So I'll go that route. And also, you know, I think, you know, cardiologists, physicians, nuclear physicists. I think none of that should be self-taught in the garage, specifically nuclear physicists, and that there's a reason for STEM. There's a reason for STEM, but also Ann Coulter, you'll probably know about this, made a great point. She said, if someone was graduating high school, she said, and the plumber is sitting there in his best and only suit that he has, proudly looking at his son graduating, and says, my son's coming to work for me as a plumber. And says, why? And the kid says, because I make $60 an hour working with my dad's company. And everybody goes, a plumber makes $60 an hour? The kids don't have any idea about trades. This is where I think, in terms of gap years, Israel gets it right. Because you have service of country and you have disciplines that come out of that. And they all don't stay in the military, but they sure as hell come out with disciplines and appreciation for
No
country.
question about that.
That's right.
No question
Absolutely.
about that.
You guys, that was such an interesting one. I really enjoyed everything they said. And do you guys think that college is a scam, like they said? I really see their point from where they are coming from. Because going to college to read one course that is not going to be relevant to you in life is totally a waste of funds, and no one should be made to go through college because of peer pressure. And also, do you think that feminism is an attack on families? Because everything that Candace has talked about, every agenda that they are pushing these days, everything still comes back to targeting family and how to just totally collapse the family as a unit. Let me know what you guys think about this video. It was very insightful. I enjoyed every moment of it. If you guys totally enjoyed watching, give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.